The parking garage smells like oil and exhaust, my sneakers squeaking against concrete as I head toward my car. Another 12-hour shift at Boston Memorial behind me, my body aching for sleep and silence. Night shifts suit me, fewer people, less small talk, just me and my patients in the quiet darkness. I'm digging for my keys when I hear voices echoing from the level below. Male voices, angry. Then a sound I recognize from too many gunshot victims wheeled into my, single crack that makes my blood freeze. I should run, get in my car and drive away. But my nursing instincts override common sense, and I find myself moving toward the ramp, peering down to the lower level. A man lies crumpled on the ground, blood pooling beneath him. Standing over him is another man, gun still raised, his face illuminated by the flickering fluorescent lights. I press myself against a concrete pillar, heart hammering so hard I'm certain he'll hear it. The shooter's phone rings. He answers in rapid Italian, his free hand gesturing sharply. I don't understand the words, but the tone is clear satisfaction, triumph. He's reporting a completed job. Then his eyes lift. And meet mine. Time stops. I see the exact moment he registers my presence, my scrubs, the ID badge still clipped to my chest. Witness. The word might as well be tattooed across my forehead. Caso he swears, and starts toward me. I run. My keys slip from my shaking fingers, clattering across the concrete. I don't stop to retrieve them. The exit sign glows 50 feet away, might as well be 50 miles. Behind me, footsteps pound closer. My lungs burn. This is how I die. Shot in a hospital parking garage after surviving 12 hours of saving lives. Down! The command comes from somewhere to my left. A figure in an expensive charcoal suit steps directly into the shooter's path, his own weapon already drawn. I don't think. I drop to the ground, covering my head as gunfire erupts above me. 2 shots, then silence. I'm shaking so hard I can barely breathe. Strong hands grip my shoulders, pulling me upright. Are you hurt? I look up into the darkest eyes I've ever seen. The man in the suit towers over me, his face all sharp angles and controlled intensity. He's maybe 40, with black hair touched with silver at the temples and a jawline that could cut glass. I don't think. Words tangle on my tongue. Your name, not a question. A demand. Grace Bennett. I'm a nurse. Pain flashes across his face. He staggers and I see it, blood spreading across his white shirt just below his ribs. He's been shot. My training kicks in instantly. You're hit. Sit down before you fall down. I'm fine. But his voice is tight with pain, and when I press my hand against his side, blood wells between my fingers. You're not fine. You need a hospital. No hospitals. He sways, and I barely manage to support his weight as he starts to collapse. No police. More men appear from nowhere, large, armed, moving with military precision. One of them catches my patient before he hits the ground. Marco, my patient rasps, his accent thickening. Secure the witness. She comes with us. Wait, what? I'm not going anywhere, but the man's hand shoots out, gripping my wrist with surprising strength for someone losing blood. His dark eyes lock onto mine with an intensity that steals my breath. You saw everything. That makes you a liability. Either you come with me or ... double quotes he doesn't finish, but he doesn't need to. I glance at the dead shooter sprawled 20 feet away. I can help you, I hear myself say. I'm a trauma nurse. You're bleeding out. Let me help. Something shifts in his expression, surprise, maybe respect. Then help me, Angel. But you do it on my terms, in my world. His grip on my wrist tightens as his eyes start to flutter closed. Stay with me. I'm here. I'm right here. I press harder against his wound as his men lift him. What's your name? His lips curve into the ghost of a smile. Alessandro Russo. And Grace Bennett. You just saved the most dangerous man in Boston. Then his eyes close and my entire world tilts on its axis. They carry Alessandro to a black SUV with tinted windows, and I'm hustled in beside him. The interior smells like leather and gun oil. His head rests in my lap as the vehicle speeds through Boston's empty pre-dawn streets. and my hands work on autopilot, pressing gauze against his wound, monitoring his pulse, watching for signs of shock. Faster, the man driving Marco, I remember, barks into his phone. He glances at me through the rearview mirror. How bad? Bad enough. The bullet's still in there. He needs surgery, imaging, antibiotics. Our facility is equipped. Marco's voice is clipped, professional. 10 minutes. Our facility, not a hospital. I should be terrified, should be demanding they let me out. Instead, I'm calculating blood loss, checking Alessandro's pupils, doing everything I was trained to do. His hand finds mine suddenly, his grip weak but insistent. Grace. My name on his lips sounds different, intimate, possessive. I'm here. Save your strength. Did you see the shooter's face? My stomach drops. Yes. His jaw tightens even through the pain. Murder Marco. Security Protocol 7. She's compromised. Already initiated, boss. I don't know what Protocol 7 means, but the way Marco says it makes my blood run cold. The SUV pulls into an underground garage beneath a gleaming high-rise. Armed men swarmed the vehicle before we fully stopped. They lift Alessandro onto a gurney, a real one, medical grade, and wheel him toward an elevator. When I try to follow, a hand catches my elbow. Miss Bennett. A woman in surgical scrubs appears. I'm Dr. Chun. I'll be operating on Mr. Russo. Are you injured? No, but I've been stabilizing him. The wound is, I have his vitals. Thank you for your assistance. Marco will see you to a secure room. She disappears through double doors with Alessandro, leaving me alone with Marco and 2 other armed men. The adrenaline starts to fade, replaced by the creeping realization of what I've walked into. What is this place? My voice sounds too small. Mr. Russo's private medical facility. Marco gestures toward the elevator. This way, please. I should go home. I have a shift tomorrow night, I mean. I need to. You can't go home. Marco's tone is matter-of-fact, almost kind. The man you saw in the garage works for the Castellano family. They'll have already identified you from hospital records, security footage. Your apartment is being watched as we speak. The floor seems to tilt beneath my feet. I didn't do anything wrong. I just saw you witnessed a Castellano hit. That's enough. He hands me a bottle of water. Drink. You're in shock. I take it with trembling hands. So what happens now? You keep me here. Kill me. Marco actually looks offended. Mr. Russo doesn't harm innocents. He protects them. You saved his life, Miss Bennett. That matters to him. To all of us. The elevator deposits us on what looks like a luxury hotel floor. Marco shows me to a suite that's larger than my entire apartment king bed. Marble bathroom, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor. There are clothes in the closet, toiletries in the bathroom. Get some rest. Someone will bring you food. How long am I staying here? His expression softens slightly. Until Mr. Russo decides it's safe for you to leave. And if I just walk out, you won't make it to blocks. He pauses at the door. Those men? The ones who want to silence you? They're very good at their jobs. Mr. Russo is better. Let him protect you. Then I'm alone in a gilded cage, still wearing scrubs stained with Alessandro Russo's blood. I don't sleep. Can't sleep. I pace the suite, trying to process everything. Eventually I shower, scrubbing his blood from beneath my fingernails. And change into pajamas I find in the dresser silk. Expensive. Exactly my size. How did they know? Near dawn there's a soft knock. Marco enters with a tray of food I don't touch. He's out of surgery. Stable. Asking for you. My heart does something complicated. He's awake already? Long enough to give orders? Marco's lips quirk. You're to monitor his recovery. Doctor's orders, his words, not Dr. Chun's. I follow Marco through sterile corridors to a private wing. Alessandro lies in a hospital bed that looks absurdly small for his frame, monitors beeping steadily. His eyes are closed, but they open when I enter. Grace. That same intimacy in my name. His hand extends toward me. You stayed. I didn't have much choice. There's always a choice, Angel. His fingers wrap around mine and even weakened. His grip is possessive. You saved me. That creates a bond. In my world, such debts are sacred, I don't want to be in your world. His thumb traces my knuckles. Too late. You're mine now. The moment you pressed your hands against my wound and refused to let me die, you became mine to protect. Mine to keep safe. His eyes are fever bright but utterly focused. I won't apologize for that. You can't just claim people, I just did. His smile is slight, dangerous. Sleep, Grace. We'll discuss the details when I'm not half drugged. His eyes drift closed. But understand this, you're not leaving. Not while the Castellanos want you dead. I should argue. Should demand my freedom. Instead, I sink into the chair beside his bed, my hand still caught in his. Outside the window, Boston wakes to a new day. Inside, I'm trapped in a world I never wanted to enter. And the most terrifying part? Some small, twisted piece of me doesn't want to leave. 3 days later, they move him. It's not safe here, Marco explains as medical staffs prepare Alessandro for transport. The facility is too exposed. Mr. Russo needs to recover somewhere more secure. How much more secure can you get than an underground fortress? I ask, but I'm already checking Alessandro's vitals, ensuring he's stable enough for the move. He's been drifting in and out of consciousness, the surgery and antibiotics taking their toll. But every time his eyes open, they find me first, like he needs to confirm I'm still there. The convoy consists of 5 identical black SUVs. They place Alessandro in an ambulance equipped like a mobile ICU, and I ride with him, monitoring the 4th drip as we leave the city behind. Through the tinted windows, I watch Boston give way to suburbs, then countryside. We drive for over an hour before turning onto a private road that winds through dense Massachusetts forest. Then the trees part, and I see it a massive estate of grey stone and dark wood, more fortress than home. High walls, security cameras, men with rifles patrolling the perimeter. Welcome to Bellevue, Marco says, as the gates close behind us with ominous finality. They've prepared a suite on the main floor, Alessandro's master bedroom. I realize when I see the masculine decor and the massive bed where they settle him. A team of nurses I haven't met checks his vitals, adjusts his medications, then quietly disappears. Miss Bennet. A stern-looking woman in her 50s appears. I'm Mrs. Castellano. No relation, she adds, with the ghost of a smile. I manage the household. Your suite is through here. She opens a door I hadn't noticed, revealing an adjoining room that makes my jaw drop. This isn't a guest room, it's a full apartment. Bedroom with a 4-poster bed, sitting area with plush furniture. A bathroom that's all marble and gold fixtures. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook gardens that could grace a magazine cover. Mr. Russo requested you be close. To monitor his recovery, Mrs. Castellano gestures to a medical cart stocked with supplies. Everything you might need is here. Something's missing? Press 0 on any house phone. This is ... I struggle for words. It's too much, Mr. Russo doesn't do things halfway. She moves toward the hallway door. Dinner is at 7. Marco will escort you. After she leaves, I explore my new cage. The closet holds clothes in my exact size designer labels I recognize from magazines. Jeans, sweaters, dresses, even workout gear. The dresser contains silk pajamas, underwear still in packaging. Everything perfectly curated for a woman they've known for 3 days. I try the hallway door. Locked. The handle won't turn, won't budge. I'm not a guest, I'm a prisoner in a gilded suite. Anger propels me back through the connecting door to Alessandro's room. He's asleep, his face pale against dark sheets, but his breathing is steady. Even unconscious, he dominates the space, powerful, dangerous, completely in control of my life. I should hate him, should be planning escape. Instead, I find myself checking his bandages, adjusting his pillow, monitoring his temperature. He's warm. Too warm. By midnight, his fever spikes to 103. I'm at his bedside instantly, shedding my cardigan as I work. His skin burns beneath my hands. Fever from infection or just post-surgical trauma? I can't tell without labs, but I treat it aggressively. Cool cloths, medication, constant monitoring. Alessandro becomes delirious, fighting me in his confusion. He's surprisingly strong, even weakened, his hands pushing mine away, Italian pouring from his lips. Mr. Russo, you need to stay still. No, Via. He's back in that parking garage, I realize. Reliving the shooting, Marco and 2 guards rush in trying to restrain him, but he fights harder. His wound could reopen. He could tear his stitches. Everyone stop, my voice cuts through the chaos. Let me handle this. They hesitate, but something in my tone makes them step back. I lean close to Alessandro, my hand gentle on his fevered cheek. Alessandro, it's Grace. You're safe. I'm here. I keep my voice low, soothing. I'm right here. You protected me, remember? Now let me protect you. His thrashing slows. His dark eyes, glassy with fever, struggle to focus on my face. Angelo, he breathes. Angel, yes. Your angel. And I need you to rest now. Can you do that for me? His hand finds mine, gripping tight. Don't leave. I won't. I promise. I settle into the chair beside his bed, our hands linked. I'm staying right here. He finally relaxes. Marco and the guards exchange glances. He only responds to you, Marco observes quietly. I don't answer, too focused on Alessandro's face, watching for signs of distress. The fever holds through the night. I work steadily, changing his bandages, sponging his heated skin, administering medication on schedule. He doesn't let go of my hand, even in sleep. Dawn breaks over the estate grounds, pale light filtering through the windows. Alessandro's fever finally breaks with it. His eyes open clearer now, focused. They find me immediately, taking in my exhausted face, the chair I've occupied all night, our still joined hands. His thumb traces my cheek with surprising gentleness. My angel stayed. His voice is rough but certain. I knew you would. Something in my chest clenches tight. You were sick. I'm a nurse. This is what I do. No. His grip on my hand tightens. This is who you are. And why I can never let you go. The possession in his words should terrify me. Instead, exhaustion and something more dangerous, something like acceptance, makes me lean my head against our joined hands. Go back to sleep, Alessandro. We'll fight about my captivity when you're stronger. His low laugh rumbles through the quiet room. I look forward to it. Angelo mio. My angel. His angel. I'm too tired to argue with the truth settling in my bones. Sometime during this endless night, watching over him, I stopped being just his captive. I became his. Alessandro recovers with the stubborn determination of a man who refuses to show weakness. Within 2 days, he's sitting up in bed, conducting business via encrypted video calls. Within 4, he's insisting on walking the grounds despite Dr. Chun's protests. I become his shadow-checking vitals, changing bandages, arguing with him about rest. He ignores most of my medical advice with infuriating arrogance. You need to stay in bed for at least another week, I tell him on day 5, watching him button a crisp white shirt over his bandages. I've been in bed long enough. He winces as the movement pulls his stitches. My business doesn't stop because I took a bullet. Your business nearly got you killed. His dark eyes meet mine in the mirror, and you brought me back. Twice now, if we're counting the fever. He turns, closing the distance between us. Do you know what that means in my world, Grace? I step back, maintaining professional distance. That you owe me a really good health insurance plan? His laugh is genuine, warm. It means you hold my life in your hands. Literally. He catches my wrist, his thumb finding my pulse point. That kind of bond. It's sacred, unbreakable. I was doing my job. You stayed all night. That wasn't your job. His grip softens but doesn't release. That was choice. Before I can respond, Marco appears in the doorway. Boss, the Chicago call is ready. Alessandro releases me reluctantly. We'll continue this discussion later. My days develop a rhythm. Mornings checking Alessandro's wound and vitals while he reviews reports Marco brings. Afternoons monitoring him as he works from the study, a wood-paneled room lined with books and dominated by a massive desk. Evenings sharing meals in the formal dining room that could seat 20 but holds only 2. He asks questions constantly about my training, my family, my life before. I answer carefully, rationing information, but he's patient and persistent. You said your parents died. How long ago? He cuts into his steak with surgical precision. 6 years. Car accident. The words still hurt. They were on their way to my graduation from nursing school. His fork pauses. Grace, I don't want sympathy. I keep my voice level. I just want to go home. To what? A one-bedroom apartment where you live alone? Night shifts where you avoid forming attachments? His eyes are too knowing. Marco had you investigated. You have no family, no close friends, no ties. You built walls around yourself long before I brought you here. Anger flares hot. You have no right. I have every right. Your safety is my responsibility now. He leans forward. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me there's someone waiting for you. Anyone who would notice if you disappeared. The silence is answer enough. He nods, satisfied. That's what I thought. So stay. Let yourself be cared for. Let someone else carry the weight for a while. And if I refuse? His expression hardens. Then I'll keep you here anyway, Grace. But we'll both be much happier if you cooperate. He stands, wincing slightly. There are rules. For your protection. Of course there are. You don't leave the property. You don't contact anyone outside. You stay within sight of security at all times. His tone brooks no argument. Break these rules, and I'll lock you in your suite. Follow them, and you'll have freedom within these walls. Freedom. The word tastes bitter. That's not what this is. It's all I can offer right now. For a moment, something like regret crosses his face. The Castellanos are still looking for you. Until that threat is eliminated, this is your world. He leaves me alone in the dining room, fury and helplessness warring in my chest. That night, restless and angry, I explore the parts of the mansion I'm allowed to access. The house is massive. Drawing rooms, sitting rooms, a conservatory with exotic plants. Security personnel watch me discreetly but don't interfere. I find the library by accident. A 2-story room with floor-to-ceiling shelves and rolling ladders. And there, nestled in a bay window overlooking moonlit gardens, sits a grand piano. My fingers itch to touch the keys. I haven't played since being taken, haven't had any outlet for the emotions churning inside me. Before I can second guess, I sit at the bench. The piano is perfectly tuned. My hands find the keys, and Chopin pours out Nocturne in E-flat major, melancholy and beautiful. I lose myself in the music, letting my fingers express what words can't. Frustration, fear, loneliness, and something more dangerous I refuse to name. Don't know how long I play. The piece ends, and in the silence that follows, I sense him. Alessandro stands in the doorway, leaning against the frame. Still dressed in his evening clothes, watching me with an intensity that makes my skin flush. How long has he been there? Beautiful, he says quietly, and talented. You're making it very hard not to keep you forever, Grace. My hands freeze on the keys, not yours to keep. He crosses the room slowly, each step deliberate. Aren't you? He stops behind the bench. So close I can feel his body heat. You saved my life. You stayed by my side through fever and pain. You play Chopin in my library at midnight like you belong here. I don't belong here. His hand settles on my shoulder, warm and possessive. Not yet. But you will. He leans down, his breath against my ear. Play for me again tomorrow night, Angelo. And the night after. Let music be your freedom until I can give you the real thing. Then he's gone, leaving me trembling at the piano, his words echoing in the empty library. Not yet, but you will. And the most terrifying part? Some traitorous piece of my heart whispers that he might be right. 2 weeks into my captivity, the world explodes. I'm in Alessandro's study, reviewing his latest wound check, healing well. No signs of infection, when the windows rattle with a deafening boom. The lights flicker. Alarms shriek through the house. Alessandro is on his feet instantly, ignoring my protests about his stitches. Marco, his second-in-command, bursts through the door, weapon drawn. Car bomb at the main gate. Multiple hostiles breaching the perimeter from the east woods. Castellanos? Alessandro's voice is ice-cold, confirmed. They brought at least 20 men. My heart hammers against my ribs. This is real. This is actually happening. The abstract threat I've been living under suddenly has teeth. Initiate full lockdown. Get every available man to defensive positions. Alessandro's hand finds my wrist, pulling me toward him. Grace comes with me. Boss, you're not well enough to. I don't have a choice. Alessandro cuts him off. Move. We rush through corridors I've never seen, down a hidden staircase behind a bookshelf in Alessandro's bedroom. The sounds of gunfire echo from above, sharp cracks punctuated by shouting in Italian and English. The stairs lead to a reinforced steel door. Alessandro punches a code into a keypad and it opens with a pneumatic hiss. Beyond is a room straight out of a spy movie, concrete walls, surveillance monitors showing every angle of the estate, weapons racks, supplies, a panic room, a real one. 3 of Alessandro's guards are already inside, monitoring the screens. On camera, I watch black-clad figures exchange fire with Alessandro's men across the manicured gardens. Muzzle flashes light up the darkness. Someone falls. I can't tell which side. "Start us!" Alessandro demands, his hand still wrapped around my wrist. East and south perimeter breached. We've got them contained for now, but they're pushing hard. One guard points to a screen. They brought explosives. That gate won't hold long. Alessandro's jaw tightens. He's planning, calculating, but I see the frustration in every line of his body. He wants to be up there, leading his men, but he's too injured, too vulnerable. And I'm the reason he can't even try. "How long can we hold?" he asks. "An hour. Maybe 2 if we're lucky. Reinforcements?" 20 minutes out. The lights flicker again. On the monitors, another explosion rocks the south wall. My breath catches as part of the stone barrier crumbles. Alessandro pulls me into a corner away from the others, his hands framing my face. "Listen to me carefully. If they breach the house, Marco will evacuate you through the underground tunnel. You follow his orders exactly. Understand? What about you? I'll buy you time." Terror claws at my throat. "You can't fight. You're barely healed, Grace." His thumbs stroke my cheekbones, his touch gentle, despite the violence raging above us. "I need to know you'll be safe. That's all that matters. That's not all that matters." The words burst out before I can stop them. "You matter. Your life matters." Something shifts in his dark eyes. Surprise, warmth, possession. "Say that again. Don't make me." My hands fist in his shirt. "Don't make me care about you and then throw your life away." "I'm not throwing it away. I'm protecting what's mine." His forehead touches mine. "Do you understand yet, Grace? They're not here just for me. They're here for you." The words settle like lead in my stomach. "What?" "You're my weakness. Everyone in this world knows it now. The woman who saved Alessandro Russo, the woman he keeps close, the woman he moved heaven and earth to protect." His voice drops to a whisper. "They'll use you to get to me. Torture you to break me. Kill you to destroy me. I can't breathe. This is because of me. No, this is because I fell in love with you." The confession hangs between us, stark and terrifying and true. Before I can respond, one of the guards shouts, "Boss! They've breached the north entrance. They're in the house." On the monitors, I watch armed men flood through a shattered door. They move with military precision, clearing rooms, heading toward the main staircase. Toward us. Alessandro's hand finds his weapon. How many? 8 inside. More coming. The lights cut out. Emergency generators kick in, bathing everything in red. On screen, the invaders are getting closer. One of them stops in the main hall, speaking into a radio. The guard monitoring communications goes pale. Boss. They know about the panic room. Silence falls like a hammer. Alessandro and Marco exchange a single look, a conversation in glances I can't interpret but understand perfectly. We're trapped. The tunnel, Alessandro orders. Everyone out. Now. Guards move instantly, pulling open a concealed hatch in the floor. Marco gestures urgently for me to go first, but I can't move. Can't look away from Alessandro's face. I'm not leaving you. You don't have a choice. Neither do you. I grab his hand. We go together or not at all. Above us, heavy footsteps thunder closer. A voice shouts in Italian. They've found the bookshelf entrance. Alessandro's eyes lock on mine, dark and fierce and filled with something that makes my heart stutter. Then he's pulling me toward the tunnel, Marco and the guards following, sealing the hatch behind us. We run through darkness, Alessandro's hand never leaving mine, his breathing labored from exertion and pain. Behind us, muffled explosions echo as they breach the panic room. The tunnel opens into a garage carved into the hillside. 3 SUVs wait, engines already running. Go, go, go! Marco shoves us toward the nearest vehicle. We're 50 yards from the estate when the world turns white. The explosion is so massive it rocks our vehicle, sending it skidding. Through the rear window, I watch Alessandro's fortress, my gilded cage erupt in flames. Marco fights the wheel, regaining control. In the back seat, Alessandro pulls me against his chest, his heart hammering as fast as mine. They knew exactly where to hit, he says, his voice deadly calm. Someone told them. Someone inside. My blood turns to ice. A traitor. In his organization. Someone who knew about me. Alessandro's arms tighten around me as we speed into the night, his empire burning behind us. I'm sorry, Angelo, he whispers into my hair. I'm so sorry I brought this darkness into your life. But as I press closer to him, my hands fisting in his shirt, I realize the terrifying truth. I'm not sorry. Even with everything burning, even hunted and afraid, I'm exactly where I want to be. In his arms. His to protect. His to keep. His. The safe house is a penthouse in downtown Boston's 20th floor. All glass and steel. Anonymous. Secure. Empty. We arrive at dawn. Alessandro's men sweep the apartment, while Marco barks orders into his phone perimeter security. Counter-surveillance, threat assessment. The words wash over me like white noise. All I can see is the fortress burning. All I can hear are explosions. All I can feel is Alessandro's blood seeping through his shirt where his wound reopened during our escape. Grace, Dr. Chan's voice cuts through my fog. I need to examine Mr. Russo. Can you assist? I move mechanically, laying out supplies while they settle Alessandro on the leather couch. His shirt is ruined, bandages soaked through. When I cut them away, the wound hasn't torn completely, just stress bleeding from overexertion. You're lucky, I tell him, my voice flat as I clean and redress the injury. Another few minutes of running and you'd have ripped everything open. His hand catches my wrist. Grace, don't. I pull away, finishing the bandaging with efficient, impersonal movements. Dr. Chun can monitor you from here. You don't need me anymore. I retreat to one of the bedrooms before anyone can stop me. Close the door. Lock it. Then I sink to the floor, back against the wall, and finally let myself fall apart. I don't leave the room all day. Can't face Alessandro. Can't face the reality of what my presence in his life has cost. His home destroyed. His men injured or dead. All because I witnessed a murder I can never unsee. Someone brings food I don't eat. Marco knocks twice, asking if I need anything. I don't answer. Night falls over Boston. Through floor-to-ceiling windows, the city glitters like scattered diamonds, beautiful and indifferent to the violence that brought me here. At 2 a.m., I finally emerge. The penthouse is dark, quiet. Most of Alessandro's men are stationed outside or conducting patrols. I need air, space, something to quiet the screaming in my head. I find a piano in the main living area. Of course, there's a piano in sync onto the bench. My fingers find the keys without thought, and Debussy pours out. Clair de Lune, Moonlight. Something achingly beautiful to contrast the ugliness of the past 24 hours. I play until my hands shake, until tears stream down my face unchecked, until the music becomes a sob I can't contain. Grace. Alessandro stands in the shadows near the hallway, dressed in grey sweatpants and nothing else. White bandages stark against his tanned skin, dark hair dishevelled, eyes heavy with something that looks like pain. I'm sorry, I choke out. I didn't mean to wake you. You didn't. He moves closer slowly, like approaching a wounded animal. I couldn't sleep. Your wound is fine, thanks to you. He stops a few feet away. I'm more concerned about you. A bitter laugh escapes. Concerned about me, Alessandro? People died tonight. Your home is gone. All because I... Stop. His voice is sharp. None of this is your fault, isn't it? If you said it yourself, I'm your weakness. They came for me. They came because the Castellanos are ambitious and ruthless and saw an opportunity. That's on them, not you. He closes the distance between us, kneeling so we're eye level. Never you. I don't want this life. The admission breaks something open inside me. I don't want to be afraid all the time. I don't want to be the reason people get hurt. I just want... My voice cracks. I don't even know what I want anymore. Alessandro is quiet for a long moment, his dark eyes searching mine. Then, I know. And I'm sorry for dragging you into my darkness. The honesty surprises me. I've seen him commanding, possessive, ruthless. But this vulnerability is new. When I was drowning in that parking garage, my life bleeding out on concrete, I thought that's how it ended. Alone. Unmourned beyond my men's duty. His hand lifts slowly, giving me time to pull away. When I don't, he cups my cheek. Then you appeared. This fierce, beautiful angel who refused to let me die. Who stayed even when she knew the danger. I am not brave. I'm terrified. Bravery isn't the absence of fear, Angelo. It's moving forward despite it. His thumb catches a tear on my cheek. You've saved my life twice now. Let me return the favor. Let me keep you safe. What if I can't do this? What if I'm not strong enough for your world? You are. His certainty is absolute. But I also know I can't keep you here against your will. Not anymore. Not knowing what it's costing you. I look at him, really look at him. This dangerous man who's shown me unexpected gentleness, who took bullets for me, who looks at me like I'm something precious and rare. I don't want to leave, I whisper. His breath catches. Grace, I'm scared, I'm angry. I hate what's happening. I place my hand over his, keeping it against my cheek. But when that explosion hit, when we were running, all I could think was that I couldn't lose you. That terrifies me more than anything else. Something fierce and possessive blazes in his eyes. He starts to respond, but pain flashes across his face, his wound aggravated by kneeling. You need to rest. I stand, helping him to his feet. Come on, bossy little angel, stubborn mafia boss. I walk him back to the master bedroom. Ensure he takes his pain medication. Check his bandages one more time. When I turn to leave, his hand catches mine. Stay. Not a command. A request. Almost a plea. Just for a while. I should maintain distance. Should protect what's left of my objectivity. Instead, I settle into the chair beside his bed, my hand still caught in his. Just for a while, I agree. His eyes drift closed, but his grip on my hand remains firm. Thank you, Grace, for everything. I watch him slip into sleep. This complicated man who's turned my world upside down. Somewhere between the burning fortress and this quiet moment, something shifted. I'm not his captive anymore. I'm not even sure what I am, but I know I'm exactly where I need to be. I wake to daylight streaming through unfamiliar windows. I'm in a bed, not the chair. Someone carried me. Someone covered me with a soft blanket. On the nightstand beside me is a note in bold, masculine handwriting. You fell asleep watching over me. Again. I carried you to the guest room so you could rest properly. Thank you for staying, Angelo. I pressed the note to my chest, my heart doing something complicated and dangerous. This isn't captivity anymore. This is choice. And I'm choosing him. Alessandro heals with infuriating speed. Within 3 days at the penthouse, he's conducting business from the dining table, turning the space into a makeshift war room. Maps, dossiers, encrypted phones. His men come and go at all hours. I catch fragments of conversation, names, locations, strategies. The Castellano family is fracturing. Internal disputes, opportunities. On the 4th morning, I find him dressed in a tailored charcoal suit, Marco briefing him on security protocols. What's happening? I ask from the doorway. Alessandro's eyes meet mine. A meeting. With the Castellanos, my blood turns cold. Are you insane? They just tried to kill you. They burned your house down, which is why we're meeting on neutral ground. To negotiate an end to this. His tone is matter of fact, like he's discussing a business lunch. You can't be serious. You're barely healed. I'm healed enough. He dismisses Marco with a gesture, waiting until we're alone. Grace, this meeting could end the war, could make you safe again, or it could get you killed. That's a risk I have to take. He crosses to me, his hands settling on my shoulders. If I don't show strength now, they'll see weakness and push harder, more attacks, more danger. For both of us, I want to argue, to lock him in this penthouse where he's safe. But I see the steel in his eyes. The leader who built an empire, who survived his father's murder, who won't bow to threats. When? I ask quietly. Tonight, 7 o'clock. Your wound could reopen. You need at least another week before I don't have another week. They're expecting an answer now. He pulls me closer. I'll have Marco's 6 other men, full security. I'll be fine. You don't know that. Something like affection softens his expression. Are you worried about me, Angelo? Of course I'm worried, you're stubborn. I catch myself. Someone needs to keep you alive long enough to make good decisions. His smile is genuine, warm. Then come with me. The suggestion steals my breath. What? Come to the meeting. You're right, my wound could reopen. Marco can't intubate me if something goes wrong. You can. His hands slide down my arms. And selfishly, I want you near me, where I can protect you. That's the worst idea you've ever had. Probably. He doesn't look away. But I'd rather have you where I can see you than here worrying. I should refuse. Should stay safe in this fortress of glass and steel. Instead, I hear myself say, if I come, you follow my medical instructions. All of them. Deal. And if I say we need to leave for medical reasons, we leave. Immediately. His eyes gleam with something like pride. You drive a hard bargain. You took a bullet for me. I think we're even. At 6:30 p.m. I find myself in the back of a bulletproof SUV, wearing a black dress someone procured in my size. Simple, elegant, expensive. Alessandro sits beside me in his charcoal suit, looking every inch the powerful man he is. His hand finds mine in the space between us, fingers lacing through mine with casual possession. The touch sends warmth up my arm. Nervous? He asks. Terrified, I admit. You? Always before negotiations. Fear keeps you sharp. He squeezes my hand. But I'm glad you're here. Marco drives, 2 other SUVs flanking us as we navigate through Boston's evening traffic. The city looks normal, people heading to dinner, tourists taking photos, life continuing obliviously around the violence lurking beneath. What should I expect? I ask as we cross into the North End. Posturing, threats, careful language that means a dozen different things. Alessandro's thumb traces circles on my palm. Stay by my side. Don't speak unless spoken to directly. And Grace? Yes? No matter what happens, don't leave my side. These men respect strength, but they'll exploit any perceived weakness. His eyes hold mine. You're my weakness. They know that now. The reminder sends ice through my veins. I nod mutely. We pull up to a restaurant I don't recognize, small, exclusive, the kind of place that doesn't advertise. The street is empty, suspiciously so. Alessandro's men have swept it already, I realize. Cleared civilians. Marco opens our door. Alessandro emerges first, buttoning his suit jacket with one hand while keeping hold of me with the other. Every movement is controlled, powerful, showing no sign of injury. We enter through a private entrance. The restaurant has been cleared, no diners, no staff visible. Just armed men stationed at intervals, watching us with predatory attention. The main dining room opens before us, a long table set for negotiations. Men in expensive suits on the far side. And sitting at the center, surveying us with cold calculation, is a man I recognize instantly. Sharp features, dark eyes, the gun in the parking garage. The casual way he aimed at Alessandro's chest. My breath stops. Alessandro feels me freeze, his hand tightening on mine. Grace? His voice is low, concerned. That's him, I whisper. The shooter. It's from the parking garage. I feel Alessandro go still beside me, not with fear, but with the coiled tension of a predator facing prey. His hand slides to my waist, pulling me closer. The man, the rival boss, sees me too. Recognition flashes across his face, followed by a slow, cruel smile. Ah, he says in accented English. The famous nurse. How fortunate you could join us, Miss Bennett. I've been wanting to meet you properly. His hand moves casually toward his jacket, and I realize with crystal clarity this isn't a negotiation, it's a trap. Everything happens in slow motion and lightning fast simultaneously. The rival, Boss Castellano, I realize his name is, pulls his weapon. Alessandro moves before I can process, shoving me behind him, his own gun appearing from inside his jacket. Marco and the other guards draw simultaneously. Did you really think I'd negotiate? Castellano's smile is vicious. You should have died in that parking garage, Russo. You and your little nurse. Then you should have sent better men. Alessandro's voice is ice. His body is a shield between me and danger. The tension breaks like a snapped wire. Gunfire erupts. Alessandro fires first, clean shot that drops Castellano's closest guard. Then chaos. Glass shatters, men shout. I'm on the floor, Alessandro's weight covering me, protecting me with his body. Stay down, he orders, firing again over my head. I see Marco engage two men, his movements efficient and lethal. See Alessandro's guards returning fire, forcing Castellano's men back. See the rival boss himself duck behind an overturned table, his gun swinging toward us. Toward me, Alessandro sees it too. He shifts, moving more fully over me, blocking every angle. The shot that should hit me hits him instead. He grunts, staggering. Blood blooms across his white shirt, his shoulder near his chest wound. Alessandro, his name tears from my throat. I'm fine. Stay down. But he's not fine. His left arm hangs useless. Blood spreading fast. Marco appears laying down covering fire. We need to move, now! Alessandro tries to stand, his face going white with pain. His wound from 2 weeks ago has reopened. I can see fresh blood mixing with new. He's hit in 2 places, losing blood fast. My training overrides terror. I'm up, one arm supporting Alessandro, the other grabbing his gun as it slips from his weakening grip. This way, Marco shouts, pointing toward the kitchen exit. We move as one unit, Marco firing, me supporting Alessandro's weight, 2 other guards flanking us. Behind us, Castellano's voice roars in Italian, ordering his men to pursue. We burst through the kitchen door into an alley. Our SUVs are there, engines running. Marco yanks open the rear door, and I'm pushing Alessandro inside, climbing in after him. Go, go, go! Marco slams the door, and we're moving before he's fully seated. Bullets ping off reinforced metal. The rear window, spiderwebs, but holds. We careen through narrow Boston streets, Marco driving like a demon, shouting coordinates into his radio. I'm already working on Alessandro. My hands find the wounds, shoulder bleeding heavily, chest wound reopened, but not as bad. Both need immediate attention. Medical kit, I snap at Marco. Now! He tosses back a tactical bag. I rip it open, pulling out gauze, pressure bandages, everything I need. My hands are steady, despite the terror flooding my veins. Grace, Alessandro's voice is weak but focused on my face. Are you hurt? Shut up and let me work. I press gauze against his shoulder, applying brutal pressure. He hisses in pain. This is what happens when you don't listen to your nurse. Twice now. His lips quirk even through agony. You've saved me twice. 3 if we're counting. We're not counting. We're stopping the bleeding so you can live to make more terrible decisions. Marco Alessandro rasps, still watching me. Status: 4 vehicles in pursuit. Lost 2. Still have 2 on our tail. More gunfire. Our SUV swerves sharply. I brace against Alessandro instinctively, protecting his wounds. Lose them, Alessandro orders through gritted teeth. Working on it, boss. I'm working 2 bandaging, tying off, using every skill I learned in trauma rotations. Alessandro's blood soaks through my dress, warm and terrifying. Too much blood. He's losing too much. Stay with me, I command, echoing his words from the parking garage weeks ago. Alessandro, stay with me. Always. His good hand finds mine, gripping tight. Always for you, Angelo. Marco makes an impossible turn, tires screaming. Then we're on a highway, weaving through traffic, sirens wailing somewhere behind us. Minutes stretch like hours. Finally, we're clear. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. Alessandro's eyes are heavy-lidded, but still fixed on mine. Where are we going? I ask. Secondary safe house. Brooklyn. Dr. Chun is meeting us there. Marco glances in the rearview. How is he? I check Alessandro's vitals pulse, thready but steady, blood loss significant but manageable. He needs surgery. Soon. 20 minutes. I nod, maintaining pressure on Alessandro's wounds. His hand stays wrapped around mine, anchoring us both. I'm sorry, he murmurs. I should have known it was a trap. You knew. You went anyway. I smooth hair back from his forehead, feeling his fever already building. Why? To end it. To make you safe. His eyes search mine. Was it worth it, Grace? Am I worth this? The question breaks something open in my chest. This man who took bullets for me, who fights entire wars to protect me, doubting his own worth. Yes, I whisper fiercely. You're worth it. You're worth everything. His smile is soft, genuine. Then stay. Stay with me tonight. Don't leave me alone. It's not an order. Not possession. It's vulnerability. Need. A plea from a man who's used to demanding, but is asking instead. I'll stay, I promise. For as long as you need. His eyes drift closed, but his grip on my hand remains firm. Forever then, he breathes. Per sempre, Angelo mio. Forever. The word should terrify me. Instead, it sounds like coming home. The safe house in Brookline is smaller, more discreet, a brownstone that looks like every other on the tree-lined street. Dr. Chun meets us at the door, her surgical kit already prepared. They carry Alessandro to a bedroom converted into a makeshift operating room. I don't leave his side as they prep him, my hand clutching his until the anesthesia pulls him under. Miss Bennett, Dr. Chun says gently, you should rest. This will take several hours. I'm staying. She doesn't argue, perhaps recognizing something in my expression. I scrub in, assist where needed, hold instruments, monitor vitals. My hands are steady even as my heart races. The shoulder wound is clean bullet passed through muscle. No major vessels hit. Lucky. The reopened chest wound is more complicated, requiring careful suturing of torn tissue. Dr. Chun works with precise efficiency while I anticipate her needs like we've been a team for years. 3 hours later, Alessandro is bandaged, stabilized, and sleeping in a proper bed. Dr. Chun leaves detailed instructions, then departs with Marco to coordinate security. I should sleep. Should shower off the dried blood. Should do a dozen things that aren't sitting in this chair beside Alessandro's bed. Instead, I pull the chair closer, checking his vitals for the 100th time. Pulse steady, breathing even. Fever already building from surgical stress and trauma. Outside, night deepens over Brookline. Inside, I keep watch. Around midnight, his fever spikes. I'm ready, call Cloves, medication, constant monitoring. But the fever brings delirium, and Alessandro fights me in his confusion, his good arm pushing weakly at my hands. No, no, Via. Italian paws from his lips, his head thrashing on the pillow. Alessandro, you're safe. It's Grace. I keep my voice calm, soothing. Let me help you. Padre ... double quotes father. He's somewhere else, somewhere painful. Non poso. I can't, single quotes double quotes his father's murder, I realize. He's reliving it in fever dreams. I abandon clinical distance, climbing carefully onto the bed beside him. My hand finds his face, turning him toward me. Alessandro, ascolta. Listen to my voice. I don't know if my Italian is right, but he responds to the attempt. You're not there. You're here. Safe. With me. His eyes open glassy, unfocused, but seeking. Grace? Yes, I'm here. I'm not leaving. I stroke his fevered forehead. Sleep now. I'll watch over you. Angelo mio, he breathes, his good hand finding mine, gripping desperately. Don't leave. Per favor. Please. Never. The promise escapes before I can examine it. I'm right here. He settles against me, his breathing gradually evening out. I stay there, half sitting against the headboard, his head near my shoulder, our hands linked. Every hour, I check his temperature, adjust his covers, administer medication. Around 3 a.m. the fever peaks dangerously. I work frantically, cooling his skin, changing soaked sheets one-handed while keeping him still, monitoring for signs of seizure. Grace. My name is constant in his delirium. Sometimes in English, sometimes Italian, but always my name. Grace, T-R-O. Grace. Don't go ... Grace ... Double quotes T-R Mo. I love you. My vision blurs with tears I won't let fall. This dangerous, powerful man, reduced to fevered pleas, vulnerable in ways he'd never allow while conscious. I'm here, I whisper again. I'm not going anywhere. Dawn breaks slowly, pale light filtering through blinds. The fever finally breaks with it. Alessandro's eyes opened, clearer now, focused. They find me immediately, taking in my exhausted face, the chair abandoned beside the bed, my position half curled beside him. His thumb traces my cheek with heartbreaking gentleness. You stayed. Of course I stayed. My voice is rough from exhaustion and unshed tears. All night? Every minute. Something profound moves across his face. Wonder, possession, love laid bare without walls. His hand slides to cup my jaw, anchoring me. I love you, Grace Bennett. The words are clear, certain, irrevocable. I've loved you since you pressed your hands against my wound and refused to let me die. Maybe even before, from that first moment in the parking garage when you looked at me like I was worth saving. My breath catches. I should be cautious, should protect myself. Instead, honesty pours out. I love you too. God help me, I do. His smile's luminous despite the pain he must be feeling. Say it again. I love you. Alessandro Russo. The admission feels like stepping off a cliff, terrifying and freeing simultaneously. Even though you're stubborn and reckless and make terrible decisions, he silences me with a kiss, gentle because of his injuries, but no less possessive, no less certain. And I'm never letting you go, he murmurs against my lips. You understand that, Angelo? You're mine now. Forever. The possessiveness should frighten me. Instead, I thread my fingers through his hair, careful of his bandages. I know, I whisper, and I'm not asking you to. His arms tighten around me carefully, and we stay like that as dawn brightens into morning. Two people who saved each other, finally acknowledging what's been building since that first desperate rescue. Outside, the world continues, dangerous, unpredictable, hostile. Inside, we've found something worth fighting for. Each other. Marco finds us hours later, still tangled together, Alessandro sleeping peacefully for the first time since the shooting. He clears his throat discreetly. Boss needs to know. We've received word. Castellano survived the attack. He's calling for a truce. I look up sharply. A truce? After everything? After everything, both sides have lost too much. Marco's expression is carefully neutral. He's proposing peace negotiations. Real ones this time. No tricks. Alessandro stirs at the voices, his eyes opening. When? 3 days. Neutral location, UN observers, the whole protocol. Alessandro's hand finds mine, lacing our fingers together. And the price? No price. He wants to end this. Marco pauses. His brother was killed in the restaurant attack. The one who orchestrated everything. Castellano claims he never wanted war. His brother acted alone, trying to seize power. I feel Alessandro tense beside me, calculating, assessing. Do you believe him? I ask quietly. Doesn't matter if I believe him. Matters if I can use it. But then he looks at me, his expression softening. What do you want, Grace? This is your life too now. The acknowledgement that my voice matters, that he's asking instead of commanding, means everything. I want you alive, I say simply. Whatever that takes. He brings our joined hands to his lips. Then we negotiate peace. And then, Angelo mio, I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving you made the right choice. Staying with you. Loving me back. And in that moment, despite everything, the violence, the danger, the impossible circumstances, I know with absolute certainty it was the right choice. He is the right choice. Always. 3 days later. Alessandro walks into the negotiation room with his head high and his hand wrapped around mine. The venue is neutral grounder, conference room in a federal building, observed by officials who pretend not to know what kind of men sit across from each other. Castellano rises when we enter, his face haggard, aged years in mere weeks. Rousseau, he inclines his head with careful respect. Miss Bennet. I say nothing, standing beside Alessandro as he takes his seat. Marco and Dr. Chun flank us. Across the table, Castellano has his own advisors, fewer than before, I notice. The war cost him too. My brother acted without my knowledge or consent, Castellano begins, his English heavily accented. His ambition, it destroyed everything. My family, your home, lives on both sides. He pauses. I did not want this war, yet you allowed it to continue. Alessandro's voice is cold. I was trapped by my brother's actions, but he's dead now. I offer peace, Rousseau. True peace. Your territory remains yours. Mine remains mine. No interference. No hostilities. Alessandro is quiet, his dark eyes assessing. I feel the tension in him, the leader weighing options, calculating risks. Then his hand squeezes mine and I realize he's asking. What guarantees, I hear myself say. Both men look at me. Castellano's expression shows surprise. Alessandro's shows pride. Miss Bennet speaks for me, Alessandro says smoothly. Answer her question. Castellano recovers quickly. Written agreement. Witnessed. Blood oath if you require it. I require safety, I say firmly. No price on my head. No threats. No retaliation of any kind. Ever. Done. Castellano's response is immediate. You have my word. The contract on you is void, effective immediately. Alessandro studies him for a long moment, then nods once. Then we have terms. The actual negotiation takes hours. Details, territories, agreements about trade and operations I don't fully understand. But through it all, Alessandro keeps my hand in his, anchoring us both. When they finally shake hands, Castellano and Alessandro, ending weeks of bloodshed with a formal gesture, I feel the tension drain from the room. It's over. The war is over. I'm free. We return to the Brookline safe house as sunset paints the sky orange and gold. Alessandro dismisses his men, leaving us alone in the quiet brownstone. He moves to the window, his healing shoulder still stiff but no longer bandaged. The past 3 days have been kind to him. Color returned, strength rebuilding, that commanding presence fully restored. It's done, he says quietly. The threat is eliminated. Castellano will honor his word. He has too much to lose otherwise. I stand in the center of the room, my heart hammering. So I can leave. He turns, his dark eyes finding mine. Yes. The single word hangs between us, weighted with everything unspoken. Alessandro crosses to me slowly, each step measured. I've made arrangements. A condo overlooking the harbor deed in your name. A position at Boston General, head of their trauma unit. They're expecting your call. My throat tightens. You thought of everything. I told you I would. He stops an arm's length away. Bank account established, security detail if you want it, or complete privacy if you prefer. Everything you lost and more, Grace. It's yours. And us. The question barely makes it past my lips. His expression is carefully controlled, but I see the tension in his jaw, the hope and fear warring in his eyes. That's your choice. It's always been your choice, even when I pretended otherwise. What do you want? I want you to stay. The words are raw, honest. I want you in my life, in my home, in my bed. I want morning coffee together and arguments about my health. I want to hear you play piano at midnight and hold you while you sleep. He steps closer. I want everything, Grace. But only if you want it too. My hands tremble as I reach for him. My palms finding his chest, feeling his heart thunder beneath my fingers. And if I don't want to leave? His breath catches. Then don't. What if I found something here I never expected? I echo words from weeks ago in his library at his piano. What if I choose you? His hands frame my face, thumbs stroking my cheekbones. Then I spend the rest of my life proving you made the right choice. You already have. I rise on my toes, bringing our lips close. You took bullets for me, Alessandro. Twice. You protected me even when it cost you everything. You gave me a choice when you could have kept me prisoner. I kiss him softly. I choose you. I choose this. I choose us. His kiss is possession and promise, claiming and cherishing all at once. His arms wrap around me, pulling me flush against him, and I feel the rightness of it settle into my bones. Te amo, he whispers against my lips. I love you, Grace Burnett. My angel, my salvation. I love you too. The words come easier now, natural as breathing. My stubborn, reckless, impossible mafia boss. His laugh rumbles through both of us. Yours. Always yours. 6 months later, I wake to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows and Alessandro's arm heavy across my waist. Our bedroom in the penthouse we chose together, overlooking the harbors, quiet except for his steady breathing. These mornings are my favorite, before the world intrudes, before business calls and security briefings. Just us. His hand plays possessively over my stomach, and I cover it with mine, smiling at the simple intimacy of the gesture. You're awake, he murmurs, his voice rough with sleep. So are you. Hard to sleep when perfection is in my arms. He pulls me closer, pressing a kiss to my shoulder. What are you thinking about? That parking garage. 6 months ago. I turned to face him, when I saw you step between me and that gun. His expression softens. Best decision I ever made. Getting shot? Meeting you? He traces my jaw. Thank you. For what? For staying that night. For staying every night since. His dark eyes hold mine. For choosing me when you could have chosen safety. I thread my fingers through his hair. You are my safety. Don't you know that yet? His kiss is slow, thorough, reverent. When we finally part, he reaches for the nightstand, pulling out a small velvet box. My breath stops. I was going to wait, he says, opening it to reveal a diamond that catches morning light like captured fire. Make it romantic. Plan something elaborate. But every morning I wake up with you. I realize I don't want to wait another day. Alessandro, marry me, Grace. Not a command. A plea. Be mine forever. Officially, irrevocably. Let me spend the rest of my life protecting you, cherishing you, loving you. Tears blur my vision. Yes, God, yes. He slides the ring onto my finger, and it fits perfectly. Of course it does. This man who knows my measurements, my preferences, my heart. Angelo mio, he whispers, pulling me close. My angel. My love. My wife. Not yet. I tease through happy tears. Soon. His possessiveness is absolute. Very soon. And as morning breaks over Boston, I realize the truth. Sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is save a life. And sometimes it's the only thing that can save your own. I pulled Alessandro Russo from death twice. In return, he pulled me from loneliness, from fear, from a half-life of walls and isolation. We saved each other, and that's worth everything.